Hi everyone, welcome to this new video on what is the blueprint for a cat success. What is the right approach? When do you start? What is the right time to start? What is the journey? How should your journey be? Difference between structured and unstructured coaching, all those things we'll talk about. So let's start with the first basic stuff. So if I'm looking at CAT 2026, which we all know will happen in November end of November, CAT 2026 will happen. What is the right time to start? And why is it so important? Why is there so much trend about that you should start in January? Well, what happens is that we have a lot of other commitments also. When I talk about other commitments, we have, say, you're in the final year of college, or you're working, or you're in the pre-final year of college, or there is some family business you're handling. All these things together kind of take some time of yours, and you have other commitments too. So hence, starting in January makes a lot more sense, because what happens is that you can manage all these things. So, for example, if you have a heavy month or heavy 15 days in college because of your college exams or something, you can maybe take a small break from CAT and again start preparing, say in April or May or whenever you have their exams. Same way at work. What if you have a sudden travel plan? Your office sends you for 15, 20 days somewhere. What happens is that you can at least come back and cover up your stuff. Well, if you're at iQuanta, even if you're traveling, with all our videos, the recorded videos and everything, the live sessions which happen online, you can always attend them even from there. Okay. Now, let's first talk about the constructing the perfect foundation first, and then a structure from basics to advanced. Now, understand what is that perfect structure for this. First, I always talk about starting early. We already spoke about it. Why is it so important? Very frankly, CAT is not a college exam that if I would revise for 2 or 3 hours or 2 or 3 days just before my exam, revise everything in a particular topic. I'm sure all of us have done that, right? The engineers, especially, they know how to burn that midnight oil, or even the commerce students, the BCom, BMS students, they also have the same thing that you've been studying at the last 2, 3 days. Well, you're able to do that because, say, for a particular subject, if you have 2 days, the amount of syllabus involved is also not too high. And the questions mainly are very direct. Now, what happens is at CAT does not do that. CAT is not testing you for your conceptual knowledge. CAT is mainly testing you for your application knowledge. Are you able to apply the concept which you learned? So you not only have to learn the concept, but that application takes a slight more time. And hence, I would always tell you that revise that part, spend that much more time, and it will never happen through memorization. That's my whole thing. We spoke about how much stress you can get in between due to college exams, work, and all that can be taken care of. And now comes the most important part: mastering basics before speed. What do I mean by that? Mastering basics before speed. A lot of people see these shortcut videos on YouTube or with some other faculty, and they get really, really dazzled. Oh, wow, this question has been done in such a smart way. Yes, it has been done in a smart way, but remember, that professor or that student who's doing that question in a smart way definitely knows the longer approach also. There is very rarely a question where you can do it in the smart way, but you don't know the longer approach. So, first, worry about that. Get your basics correct. Don't worry about speed so much. If you look at the first couple of months or even 4 or 5 months, and you focus on getting your concepts clear, your basics clear, I'm sure you will then pick up speed later. So, what about one more thing? I'm sure you've heard this statement a lot. Is it even necessary to join coaching in today's world? There is so much available on YouTube free. Yes, even on our channel at iQuanta, we have a lot of free stuff. And at in all the other channels, you have a lot of free stuff. There is enough books available in the market. You can go to a social media platform and somebody or the other is ready to sell you books and everything. First of all, understand when the book is old, it's 2 or 3 years old. Do you really feel that nothing has changed in the last 2, 3 years? So, for example, if I look at 23, 24, and 25 CAT, the 23 CAT was a sudden jump in terms of the kind of concepts asked, difficulty level, everything went up. 24 again was very easy, very normal, and 25 again went up a little bit. So, have those things been kind of implemented in the books? Obviously not. If a book is 2 or 3 years old, yes, I would agree that they would cover all the basic concepts, but maybe they will not cover all those things which are required from the perspective, the last couple of years CAT. Okay, then random YouTube videos will always lack structure. That's the biggest issue with YouTube videos or preparing from YouTube. If you are one of those very intelligent kids and who's very motivated, maybe that will help you then. Reading concepts without direction wastes time. Now, if you're looking at a concept and if you're just learning it, and if there is nobody to tell you that what you understood is correct or incorrect, a lot of times, even through videos, you don't necessarily understand everything. There will be always something which you haven't understood. Whom are you going to go and ask these things? And that becomes a very important part. So all these things then give you a false sense of progress. Oh, that I'm doing well, because also if you're preparing from an unstructured way, there are not enough tests you're taking in between. And if there are not enough tests you're taking in between, how are you going to really work on that? So let's look at, if you were an iQuanta student, how will the whole year look for you? The whole year will look slightly different, in terms of your prep. How do you go about it? So Jan to June will help you cover through your basics plus your full syllabus coverage. So what are your basics? You go through the basics of quant, you go through the basics of VRC, and especially this helps for students who have a weakness in a particular area. There are some students who are very weak at quant, haven't touched quant after 10th standard. In fact, I remember in the last few days back when I was having this session, where how do you start studying quant and all, there were so many students talking about that we haven't touched quant from 10th standard, and hence maybe our quant is very weak. How do you go about it? Well, this basics will help you. And then the full syllabus coverage will happen from Jan to June. July to September, we have what we call as the practice areas, plus the IMABC batch, plus mocks. Mocks become a very important. The IMABC batch will take you to the next level questions, the slightly more difficult questions, which you will need to score, say, above a 95. Your syllabus can take you to an 85, 90, and then post that going to a 95 or a 99 or 99 point something goes through the IMABC batch and mocks. And the third phase, the revision phase or the crash course phase, as we call it, the October, November, 2 months, where completely everything is revised once more with you through live classes. See, mainly, one thing is that, okay, everything is available. You have all your old classes available. You can just revise them. One is that. The other is actually revising them through your crash course. Now, as I said, Jan to June, VARC essentials, reading and clarity, giving you through that VARC essentials, LRDI essentials. In LRDI essentials, we actually talk about the approach for a particular set. How do you start a set? What kind of table will you make over here? And so on. VARC essentials, you will actually start building your vocabulary a little bit. How do you approach RCs? What are the different type of RCs available? And the non-engineers quant. Main thing, this is, the bridge between a CAT coaching and your 10th standard syllabus. What are the things which you will require from your 8th, 9th, 10th for CAT? There were so many things in 8th, 9th, 10th. You might not require all of them. So what are those things which you're going to require from there over here? That becomes your, what we call your bridge. Whether you are an NCRT student or you are a CBSE student, ICSE student, or a state board student, doesn't matter. Let's look at VARC essentials, short videos explaining CAT RC terms, 500 curated articles, 500 RCs for practice. That's a lot of things. Articles, helping you to read what type of articles are asked, and hence that becomes very important. And video explanations to deepen learning. Most of the things which we have video explanations. Goal is better understanding of complex passages. Okay. Next, LRDI essentials, Venn diagram and set selection. So now, what is a Venn diagram? How do you select sets? What is games and tournament ka sets? How is arrangement done? So all these things, how do you build your logic through some puzzles and so on? All these things will be covered in LRD essentials. And as I said, non-engineers QA module will actually cover everything which you require from your school syllabus. It will not just keep teaching you things which you don't require. It will cover things which are required from the school syllabus. Now, let's look at the next part, the Jan to June phase. Syllabus of completion of CAT syllabus. How will we cover it? So we have 5 areas. We have number system, arithmetic, algebra, geometry, modern maths. Goal is full syllabus completed by June. So these are the 5 areas in which any CAT syllabus is defined for quant. So you have number system, where you will talk about topics like HCF, LCM, and so on. Arithmetic being the main area of your CAT coaching. Talking about topics like profit and loss, percentages, ratios, time, speed, distance, time and work, all that get covered, and hence that becomes your very important part. So this is how your full syllabus will be covered from completed by June. Methodology, what is the way we teach? So one is live classes. We will have a live class, concept taught from scratch in a live class. Even though we have a conceptual videos available, we still will go across with the concept in a live class from basics. Primary focus on conceptual clarity is very, very important. Direct faculty interaction, you can talk to the faculty directly, meet the faculty online for sessions, for your one-to-one sessions and so on. Builds the theoretical framework for problem solving. Now, the main differentiator, which, as we had spoken last time also, when we speak to a lot of students who do well with us, the application classes becomes the main differentiator. They are conducted immediately after a live class where students are live with the faculty. So question is being discussed, the question is there, you'll be given some time to discuss it, how the faculty is approaching it, all that will become very, very important. And I think that is one of the major things which you can focus over here. Learn the best approach instantly. That's how you look at it. Learn it. You're not waiting for too long because the chapter which was taught to you in the live class is fresh with you right now. So the application class will now teach you those problems which you require for the next level. Practice and 24/7 doubt solving. So you have enough practice assignments, you have the assignments, you have your book and so on, dedicated dashboard for tracking progress. You have innumerous amount of sets given to you in terms of the LRDI sets or the VARC, the VARC, in VARC, the RCs and the VA part. So there's enough available, and beyond all this comes the 24/7 doubt solving. So there will be active doubt solvers who will solve your doubts. Even if something is left out, which you haven't understood, they will explain that to you through the doubts and so on. So mostly doubts are resolved within 15 minutes. You never get stuck on a problem. You don't want to wait that you put up a doubt and it comes back after 24 hours or 48 hours. There's no point. You yourself would have kind of forgotten what your doubt was, right? Now, phase 2 comes the main part, the advanced modules and the mocks. Okay. Now, engineers VARC, high level complexity. Now, so the way the complexity goes up, you're looking at VARC where the questions are slightly more difficult, and LRDI inception. Now, here we are making, even today as I speak, we're making new and new sets for you all. We're giving you those difficult CAT level sets, how to approach them, what is the best way. Also with every set, was it a set which should have been attempted? Was it a level A, level B, level C, and so on? Okay. And the QA shortcut modules, which will talk about how do you look at shortcuts in QA. The name itself is suggesting things. So let's look at the IMABC batch and mocks. The IMABC batch has 7,500 high quality CAT questions. Okay, 7,500. That's a lot of number. Normally, most coaching do not even have that kind of number for their whole syllabus. 7,500 CAT quality questions are available over here, blended with self-paced and mentor-guided practice. So some you will get through mentor practice, some you can do on your own and so on. And these will be the questions which will be slightly higher level, which, as I told you, will be able to take you the above 95 range and so on in CAT. Now comes the ICAT, which again, if you've been hearing me, I have said that this year, that is going to be one of the most important things at iQuanta. We will be really working on the ICATs well. Not only the quality of the ICAT, but the video solutions and every single thing, the analysis. With every ICAT, you will always have that detailed analysis. Okay. So it will help you obviously. And even with those ICAT scores, you can come back to your mentors, talk about them that, sir, it's been 5-6 CATs, say I'm kind of stagnated. How do I go ahead? What is the next best thing for me to move ahead and so on? All those strategies will also definitely help you. Phase 3 will be the last phase just before CAT. That is the crash course. That's normally October, November. Obviously, on side by side, you're still writing mocks also over here. So here you will have night classes plus full day practice. Ideal for everybody, who've just left their job or finished graduation. Ideal time for them because they want to study for more number of hours. What is available for them at that time? That becomes very important. So rigorous test and revision, which we will give you at that time, enough mocks, enough sectional tests and so on. And you keep revising each topic. So again, here you have a choice. If you feel that a particular topic, say profit and loss, you're very thorough with, you don't want to attend, that's okay. But time, speed, distance, you're not so thorough with, you want to attend that or revise that, or geometry you want to revise. A lot of people at the end moment want to do once the whole revision of geometry. Becomes a very ideal way to do all this. Okay. So here we have 9 focus workshops, QA, LRDI, and VARC. Exam-oriented problem-solving methods. Here we will take up really important CAT level questions or those type of questions so that you can tackle questions in CAT easily. This is our result from last year. So I'm sure you've seen that we had 580 plus 99 percentile. That's a very good thing. Your chances of getting a 99 plus percentile becomes many times when you are an iQuanta student versus a regular student. Thank you so much. And as usual, if you have any queries, please come and speak to our counselors. Speak to your counselors, call them up. They'll be really help you. They'll be happy to help you and guide you through the whole process. Thank you.